Good day, grade 12 students. Welcome back to philosophy class. Last time, we learned that we are able to engage in philosophizing since we possess intuitions and rationality, and that philosophy has methods that lead to wisdom and truth. At this point, you know what it means to say that man is an embodied spirit. Before we start our discussion, let us first watch a clip from the movie Kung Fu Panda.
Look, it's the dragon warrior. Hey, Dad. Oh! Good to have you back, son. Good to be back. Let's go, Poe. So for our next shop, it's time to face it. The future of noodles is dice-cut vegetables, no longer slices. Also, I was thinking, maybe this time we'll have a kitchen you can actually stand up in. Hmm? You like that? Oh, I'm sorry things didn't work out. It just wasn't meant to be. Oh, forget everything else. Your destiny still awaits. We are noodle folk. Broth runs deep through our veins. I don't know, Dad. Honestly, sometimes I can't believe I'm actually your son. Paul, I think it's time I told you something I should have told you a long time ago. Okay. The secret ingredient of my secret ingredient soup. Oh. Come here. The secret ingredient is nothing. Huh? You heard me. Nothing. There is no secret ingredient. Wait. It's just plain old noodle soup? You don't add some kind of special sauce or something? Don't have to. To make something special, you just have to believe it's special. There is no secret ingredient.
What are the insights you drew from the dialogues of the characters in the movie? The point is to remind you that a human being is limited, but he possesses mirage of possibilities to be unraveled and realized. As Carl Jaspers stated, man is always more than what he knows about himself. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to recognize the vast horizon of the question, who am I? Reflect on your experiences in life that affected the major decisions you have already made. And lastly, explain why self-discovery is important in philosophy. So let's get started. Human being's understanding of himself or herself. Human being is the source of many questions about the existence of the world and everything that exists in it. Rizal believes that because human being is endowed with reason, he or she wonders and questions everything including his or her existence. The questions we ask to ourselves deal with our concrete and historicity. These questions encompass our self-being. Though for Rizal and Kant human being is endowed with reason, and that he is autonomous with self-regulating will, he has the difficulty to deal with the simple question, who am I, with certainty. Carl Jaspers asserts that human being is more than what he knows about himself. To answer the question, who am I, is no longer an important question to deal with. Possible answers may seem obvious. The following are example questions. Why do I have to live if I die soon? Why do I have to follow a leader who does not even know his or her responsibilities? And how do I know if my perception is real? Ordinary and obvious questions do not need critical and logical analysis. However, as human being dealing with the question who am I, it will be difficult to establish a unified answer. The only thing you can be certain of is your own cogito, or the fact that you are thinking. A human being is defined by a sense of personality, experiences, and reason. In existence, human being is always in concrete situations, and he is always confronted with various situations. According to Karl Jaspers, these situations are boundary situations which are inescapable, such as death, conflicts, sickness, and guilt. These boundary situations bring us in confrontation with ourselves and accept the realities of our mortality. In other words, these are all part of our being. For Jaspers, these situations lead human being to a deeper consciousness and experience of his limitations and finitude. Why am I experiencing guilt, death, or pain? How do I deal with these things? These questions are fundamental basis for succeeding questions of the question, who am I? Human being is not the only one questioning, but at the same time, he is now the question. Every answer of his question about himself becomes the basis of new questions about his being. In this context of limitations, human beings begin to formulate critical and perennial questions and search for deeper and existential answers. The key to answering those questions with fulfillment is understanding that there isn't always a right or wrong answer. As Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. Now, let's proceed to the various ways in dealing with the question who am I in the course of history. Do you agree or not agree with the thought that when body dies, the soul also dies? At the end of this lesson, you should be able to realize that in the course of human history, human being has been trying to unravel the mystery of human existence, explain the various theories of human self, and lastly, cite the importance of union between body and soul in making choices for future existence. Duality of body and soul. The duality of body and soul is the view held by those who believe that our body is separate and distinct from our soul. The soul is the aspect of our being that is not material, and our body shows our corporeality. For dualists, we are more than our body because we have a soul or spirit. The soul or spirit is philosophically discussed as mind, since mental capacities and abilities are attributed to it. Moral qualities such as honesty and courage are commonly understood as properties of the human spirit. For the dualist, the mind or the mental is not to be mistaken as brain, which is physical. The mental is not something that can be reduced to non-mental or physical. Plato is one of those who argued for the dualism of body and soul. Plato conceived that the soul exists prior to the body and even after the body is long gone. In the theory of forms, the world we know is separate from the world of ideas. That means that the physical world is made up of mere appearances or copies of what is real. Such things are illusory, hence unreliable. Have you experienced the feeling of familiarity as you learn something? In Plato's theory, there is the reason why the soul is immortal, and that learning is mere remembering of what the soul once knew in the realm of forms. Descartes employed the method of doubt. His doubting is a proof that he is existing. He acknowledges that he is a body bounded by some figure and is occupying space. The mind and soul is simply difficult to reduce to something physical. For dualists, the qualities of our body are separate and distinct from the qualities of our soul. People with certain disability do not necessarily have broken souls. The unity of body and soul. In contrast to dualism, Aquinas claimed that body and soul are not two entities that interact with each other but are one being made up of matter and form. Christians believe that human is created as body and soul by God. Although the body is the matter and the soul is the form, a body cannot remain as a being if matter and form are not united. Our soul is so much a part of our humanity that we need to nourish and care for. Human is an embodied soul. We have a body, but we are more than our body. Human consciousness and existence. Humans naturally engage in thought as they interact with the world. The complexities of thought could not be explained by nature. Philosophy of mind deals with this. John Locke points out that all thoughts are conscious, and consciousness is the criterion for personal identity. This talks about Locke's notion of inner sense, or better understood as reflection or introspection. For Immanuel Kant, the self is a rational agent who can know their own thoughts and attitudes and be responsible for them. Do you still remember phenomenology and existentialism? The phenomenologist expounds the intentionality of consciousness, while the existentialist explores the feelings that are awakened by consciousness. Thus, it is clear that our mind presents phenomena that are distinct from what our body experiences. The human faculty of reason. We have a mental faculty or capacity that enables us to think, reason, understand, and so on. The rationalists discover truths by sitting and thinking, while empiricists discover truth by using their senses and by observing. The important point, however, is that we possess a faculty that enables us to survive and endure life. The more that human being uses his reason to reflect and to deliberate things, the more his life becomes fruitful, satisfying, and meaningful. So that ends our lesson for today. For your activity, refer to the learning guide. And if you have questions, email me at moy.whiteimbreza@gmail.com. Have a great learning day!